378-0683. Whitley's Forestry Mulching and Skid Steer Services in Bowden.
If you're looking for some of the best lemonade in West Georgia, Steve and his crew at Incredible Pope Lemonade are serving up sunshine by the cup. With an extensive menu that includes strawberry, cherry lemonade, and watermelon, the menu also boasts a peach mango lemonade with natural peach puree stirred in the mix. If you are looking for your own cup of sunshine, give them a call or follow their Facebook page at Incredible Pope Lemonade.
316 Family Medicine, located in Bremen and Carrollton, offers a variety of services to meet your family's healthcare needs. Their experienced providers, nurses, and healthcare professionals are dedicated to making your healthcare experience the best possible. They offer acute care, urgent care, preventative care, chronic disease management, as well as specialized services including pediatrics, sports physicals, home visits, and much more. Call to schedule an appointment today at 770-537-1234 or visit them online at 316familymedicine.us. 316 Family Medicine, a fresh approach to healthcare.
If you're thinking about selling or investing in your own piece of rural real estate, Cal Hardy with Arrowhead Land Company is the hardest working rural real estate specialist in Georgia. Arrowhead Land Company is a premier real estate brokerage company who has burst onto the scene nationally because of its hard-working agents, cutting-edge marketing, and grassroots values. Whether you're a hunter, farmer, rancher, or someone who appreciates the country lifestyle, give Cal a call today at 770-296-2163 to assist with all of your real estate needs.
With over 25 years real estate experience, we dedicate ourselves to doing business the right way all the time. Hi, I'm Tony Tritt, co-owner of Tritt Realty, a premier real estate brokerage serving Georgia and Alabama. Whether you're a first-time buyer, a seasoned investor or builder, or maybe you're relocating to our area to embark on a new opportunity, we want to lock arms and guide you seamlessly through the entire real estate process from start to finish. We want to become your lifetime real estate partner. Find us online at TrittRealty.com or come on by our office in downtown Carrollton and get started today.
James O'Neill Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram is a family-owned and operated dealership serving West Georgia and East Alabama and supporting high school sports since the doors opened in 1990. Whether it's sales, service, parts, or financing, we're here for all your automotive needs. As the service and satisfaction winner for the past 8 years and the #1 Ram dealer for the past 16 years, it's guaranteed that there's no deal like an O'Neill deal. If you can't make it out to see us, we'll deliver a unit straight to your doorstep. So give us a call today or visit us online at o'neilldodge.com, where we make the buying experience easy.
Since 2005, Caliber One Construction has provided the highest level of quality, integrity, and satisfaction in every aspect of their company, while empowering their employees to address the ongoing needs of their clients in an ever-changing environment through a passionate work ethic and innovative spirit. Founders Jeannie and Chris Elliott have made a commitment to customer service and customer satisfaction. That's why Caliber One Construction goes by the motto HYPE, how you prepare every day. Caliber One Construction, proud partners of WGTV and WGTV Sports.
Inception Energy Solutions specializes in utility construction and maintenance, including distribution, substations, underground and overhead, and control wiring. They have a federal approved and accredited apprenticeship program working in 9 states across the Southeast. If you're looking for an exciting career like former Blue Devil Brody Doss or Trevor Roberts, give Jerry Pounds or Hillary a call at 404-783-8646. Also, check them out online at InceptionSolutions.com. So join the over 70 employees that have made IES their home. That's Inception Energy Solutions.
Since 1985, Osier Apparel has been a leading provider of custom apparel, specializing in corporate wear, custom t-shirts, and spirit wear. As a family-run business with over 3 decades of experience, they have established a reputation for delivering quality products and exceptional customer service to their clients. Choose Osier Apparel for all your custom needs.
Are you looking for a car, a truck, or maybe one of those popular Jeeps? Look no further. James O'Neill Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has been serving the West Georgia area for over 25 years, providing one of the largest inventories of quality trucks, cars, and SUVs in the region means you're guaranteed to find the model and trim which best suits your lifestyle. Once you settle on the perfect vehicle, meet with their team of finance experts They can help secure you the terms and rate which best fits your lifestyle. Remember, there's no deal like an O'Neill deal. That's James O'Neill, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bremen.
316 Family Medicine, located in Bremen and Carrollton, offers a variety of services to meet your family's healthcare needs. Their experienced providers, nurses, and healthcare professionals are dedicated to making your healthcare experience the best possible. They offer acute care, urgent care, preventative care, chronic disease management, as well as specialized services including pediatrics, sports physicals, home visits, and much more. Call to schedule an appointment today at 770-537-1234 or visit them online at 316familymedicine.us. 316 Family Medicine, a fresh approach to healthcare.
Old Fashioned Hardware Store. That's the best way to describe Messer Hardware of Bowden, Georgia. Remember when a person greeted you at the door and provided quality information and service? Or when salespeople were knowledgeable about hardware, plumbing, electrical, paint, and agricultural products? Take it further back. How about when lawn and garden seeds were scooped from bulk containers? At Messer Hardware, the best parts of the past are alive, well, and at the center of our business philosophy. We pride ourselves on offering the old-fashioned hardware store experience you grew up with. That's Messer Hardware of Bowden, Georgia.
Located on 30 Dot Road in Bowden, Arian Farm and Ranch Supply opened their doors in April of this year. With backyard gardening essentials as their main focus, there is so much more at Arian Farm and Ranch Supply. They also serve as a full-scale farm supplier, and there's even some fencing options you can choose from. So stop by Arian Farm and Ranch Supply today for some free coffee and all of your farming needs.
Whitley's Forestry Mulching and Skid Steer Service is your go-to for all your mulching, brush cutting, trenching, grading, excavator services, and more. Open in 2018, Ryan and his team have made a commitment for customer service and satisfaction. For all your mulching and skid steer needs, give Ryan and his team a call. It's 678-378-0683. That's 678-378-0683. Whitley's Forestry Mulching and Skid Steer Services in Bowden.
If you're looking for some of the best lemonade in West Georgia, Steve and his crew at Incredible Pope Lemonade are serving up sunshine by the cup. With an extensive menu that includes strawberry, cherry lemonade, and watermelon, if you're looking for some of the best...
Welcome to the Inception's Energy Solutions postgame show powered by 316 Healthcare. I'm your host, Coach Cale Singleton. Sorry I've been away so long, back from vacation. Last week I got sick. I apologize. Went to Disney and I think I brought back every germ. So I'm good now though, and excited to talk about week 9 of the season. It's flown by. We're getting close to playoffs and got a few local scores for you. We'll start with the game of the week. Bowden 48, Christian Heritage 17. We'll get more into depth with that in a little bit with Tom and Stitcher as they get back to the studio and talk about and give us the insights on that game. Haralson County traveled up to Model tonight and came up short 14-0, which that game was 0-0 for a long time, keeping up with it. So compliments to Haralson for a big fight with Model, which is a really good football team. Carrollton, probably shouldn't even have to say this score. Everybody pretty much knows the Trojans are rolling right now, but they come up big tonight, 64-8 over Pebblebrook. That game at half, I think, was 57-8, so they, pretty much let their young guys play the whole second half. Villarica comes up short tonight, but with that being said, they lost 27-14, but they fought really, really hard against a good Mays team. Mays' record didn't show or tell the whole story of how Mays is, but if you look at their schedule and who they played and their opponents, you'd understand why they had only won 2 ball games. But VR stayed neck and neck with them for the whole time, and the 27-14 score stayed like that for a while. VR played great on defense. I think last year when they played Mays, the score was 50-0. So obviously they've had some growth there, and look forward to them going on into region. Temple tonight, I was at that game. They came up short, 23-0 to Lamar County. Temple in that first half, they were fighting. It was 12-0 going into halftime. Temple had some opportunities. few bad snaps, making some penalties, especially towards the end, and it kind of snowballed. Definitely thought that they would have played a lot better than they did in this game. Obviously, the elements tonight had a lot to do with that, but the same was for Lamar County. But they came up short. They'll look to bounce back. I think they have who do they have next? I know Hurd and Mount Zion play next week, which they're off. Hurd, Mount Zion, Bremen, and Central are all off this week. So obviously with the show tonight, we'll have limited material. Our writers in the back didn't have enough to write about because we didn't have enough teams playing tonight. But yeah, Temple, looking ahead, they're trying to. Obviously, Lamar's in the driver's seat and Hurd, so they're fighting to try to get that second place spot right now, or for third, because I think that they can take care of business with Crawford County. They have Hurd County in 2 weeks, which I'll be present at that game. I want to say they have Crawford this week, maybe. I can't remember exactly, but definitely kind of, I thought this game would have been closer. Temple had a few chances. They got down inside the 10 and couldn't get it in, went with 2 pass plays, and they couldn't establish the run well inside the red zone tonight. And shout out to Lamar, too. They played hard. That quarterback they got, he's a man. He's kind of similar to what Bowden saw tonight with the triplet kid. Big old joker, can run, physical. Heck, he even played defense. But Temple couldn't get out of their own way. And they'll look for their goal of progressing. We talked to Mr. Rogers pregame, their principal, and Temple's goal was to host a playoff game this year, and that's still in reach. But they got to get some stuff cleaned up. I know they said they were banged up, but majority of their key players played tonight. So still looking for Temple, as Tom and I talked on the weekly preview show. Still looking for them to find their alpha dog. I didn't see it again tonight. There was not a guy out there that kind of took control of the game. Not saying that they didn't fight hard, but the alpha still has not been established in that program, and if they want to have opportunity to host a playoff game, that's going to have to be shown pretty soon. So hopefully they can figure that out. Hopefully the coaches can go back to the drawing board, secure a win with Crawford, and go down to Hurd County, which is always a tough place to play at, and go and fight for that second place little deal there, because it's not going to be easy. I can promise you that. But VR kind of kept up with that game a little bit as well. They were up at one point 14-7, and then special teams kind of let them down. Mays hit one big on them on a kickoff, which tied it up. And then after that, it was kind of like Mays slowly started chipping away, took control of the ball game, and Villarica came up short. So you can look for VR to, in my opinion, rally to fight for that second and third spot now that Mays has beat them, because I think that the other challenge for them moving forward is going to be Creekside, which beat Mays. So that'll be a tough game for Villarica, but the defense is getting better, and it shows just from last year's score to this year's score. So they definitely have to count on that moving forward and give Creekside their best shot. Maybe shock the world in that game. So look for that coming down the pipe. Well, Bowden game tonight, we'll let Tom, as I said, and Stitcher talk about that here shortly. Carrollton game, I don't think there's much to talk about in Carrollton. They keep rolling. Their challenge is going to come up with Westlake, as a former coach comes back to the area with his Westlake Lions, which is Coach Rico Zachary. That's going to be the challenge for Carrollton. I think Carrollton can beat them. But Westlake is a very, very talented team. They've always had great talent. Cam Newton's from that school. I know a lot of kids from his 7-on-7 team play at that school. So they have great athletes, and they're well coached. So that'll be Carrollton's biggest challenge moving forward. But tonight it was basically the same front page news with them. They go up big. I think they're up 57 to 8 at half, something crazy like that. And I think after the, coming back out from halftime, they put their young guys in, let them roll, and score ended up being 64 to 8. So Carrollton keeps rolling, and they keep progressing on to get themselves set up for a good spot in the playoffs. Harrelson came up short tonight, puts a lot of pressure on Harrelson County moving forward, trying to get that 4 seed. I know that, let me see if I can find it right here. I have all the brackets or all the region standings. I know Harrelson, in that region, you got Fannin, Gordon, Central, Model, Murray County, North Murray, and Rockmart. You can pretty much say that Rockmart, North Murray is going to be in it, and Model. So Harrelson's really going to have to fight to get that win at Murray County, and then they're going to have to beat Fannin County. That's going to be their tough one to probably fight for that number 4 spot. So not over for the Rebels, but they've kind of made it very difficult on themselves moving forward with the playoffs and everything and how that's going to match up. So we'll see where that falls once they get back next week and get to the chopping block and see if they can get another win. But those are our scores for this week. We're going to take a break here in a second. I'll run through them one more time. Model 14, Harrelson 0. Pebblebrook at Carrollton. Carrollton wins big, 64 to 8. Bowden, huge win tonight, 48 to 17 over Christian Heritage. Mays beats Villarica at Villarica, 27 to 14. And Lamar County shuts out Temple tonight, 23 to nothing. And I'm sure you heard in the background people coming through. So that we have to give a shout out to Sam's House Barbecue for bringing our food and everything. So shout out to them as one of our sponsors and feeding everybody up in here. And another sponsor you'll see on the front of my iPad here, it's my dad and I's company, All Seasons Roofing. If you ever need anything with a roof, questions, estimate, any of those things, give us a call. Daddy's been in business for over 30 years, and I'm kind of I've been around it since I was a little kid and soaking up everything. If you want a good, honest roofer, call us, and we'll be good to go. But we're going to run to break here and pay some bills, and then we'll be back on the Inception's Energy Solutions postgame show.
If you're looking for some of the best lemonade in West Georgia, Steve and his crew at Incredible Pope Lemonade are serving up sunshine by the cup. With an extensive menu that includes strawberry, cherry lemonade, and watermelon, the menu also boasts a peach mango lemonade with natural peach puree stirred in the mix. If you are looking for your own cup of sunshine, give them a call or follow their Facebook page at Incredible Pope Lemonade.
316 Family Medicine, located in Bremen and Carrollton, offers a variety of services to meet your family's healthcare needs. Their experienced providers, nurses, and healthcare professionals are dedicated to making your healthcare experience the best possible. They offer acute care, urgent care, preventative care, chronic disease management, as well as specialized services including pediatrics, sports physicals, home visits, and much more. Call to schedule an appointment today at 770-537-1234 or visit them online at 316familymedicine.us. 316 Family Medicine, a fresh approach to healthcare.
If you're thinking about selling or investing in your own piece of rural real estate, Cal Hardy with Arrowhead Land Company is the hardest working rural real estate specialist in Georgia. Arrowhead Land Company is a premier real estate brokerage company who has burst onto the scene nationally because of its hard-working agents, cutting-edge marketing, and grassroots values. Whether you're a hunter, farmer, rancher, or someone who appreciates the country lifestyle, give Cal a call today at 770-296-2163 to assist with all of your real estate needs.
With over 25 years real estate experience, we dedicate ourselves to doing business the right way all the time. Hi, I'm Tony Tritt, co-owner of Tritt Realty, a premier real estate brokerage serving Georgia and Alabama. Whether you're a first-time buyer, a seasoned investor or builder, or maybe you're relocating to our area to embark on a new opportunity, we want to lock arms and guide you seamlessly through the entire real estate process from start to finish. We want to become your lifetime real estate partner. Find us online at TrittRealty.com or come on by our office in downtown Carrollton and get started today.
James O'Neill Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram is a family-owned and operated dealership serving West Georgia and East Alabama and supporting high school sports since the doors opened in 1990. Whether it's sales, service, parts, or financing, we're here for all your automotive needs. As the service and satisfaction winner for the past 8 years and the #1 Ram dealer for the past 16 years, it's guaranteed that there's no deal like a no-deal deal. If you can't make it out to see us, we'll deliver a unit straight to your doorstep. So give us a call today or visit us online at o'neilldodge.com, where we make the buying experience easy.
Since 2005, Caliber One Construction has provided the highest level of quality, integrity, and satisfaction in every aspect of their company, while empowering their employees to address the ongoing needs of their clients in an ever-changing environment through a passionate work ethic and innovative spirit. Founders Jeannie and Chris Elliott have made a commitment to customer service and customer satisfaction. That's why Caliber One Construction goes by the motto HYPE, how you prepare.
Welcome back to the Inception's Energy Solution postgame show powered by 316 Healthcare. I'm your host, Coach Kel Singleton. Got my buddy Stitch with me. Tonight, y'all had Bowden Christian Heritage. At first, not gonna lie, I was at Temple Lamar, and right out the gate, I got somebody said, update, Christian Heritage 7 Bowden nothing. I was like, oh God, what's going on here? So could you give me, I'm curious even, what happened in that first little deal with Christian Heritage?
Well, and I told Tom in the pregame that the thing that concerned me the most was Bowden was out of school this week.
Yeah.
On fall break.
Yep.
And I know that they practiced, every day and had team activities and things like that. But when you get out, when you have any kind of distraction, especially like a week off from school, it just kind of throws you off. And I told Tom that I would not be shocked if Bowden started just a little sluggish.
Yeah.
And I feel like, honestly, on the defensive side of the ball, that's kind of what happened. Christian Heritage didn't have any trouble on that first drive, just moving through Bowden's secondary. Carter Triplett did a fantastic job running the ball when he needed to. Mm-hmm. He's a big 6'4", 210-pound junior quarterback. He could move, tough to bring down. And, that's what happened. They just kind of sliced and diced Bowden's defense there and just drove the ball down the field and scored. Now, Bowden, of course, gets their first offensive possession, and I think they run 3 or 4 plays, and boom, they're gone.
Yeah.
And that kind of started the same thing. And then Christian Heritage, when they got the ball back, they moved the ball again on Bowden pretty well. But they got in Bowden's side of the field, and their offense kind of stalled, went to kick a field goal, and it was just short. I think it was like a 48-yarder.
Okay.
And it was short, and Bowden took over then and run 3 plays and scored. And from that moment on, it was just all Bowden. They kind of knocked that rust off defensively. Their offense looked smooth, all night when the starters were running the offense.
Yeah, we talked earlier, you talked about fall break. We had this discussion during break that the biggest challenge for teams is getting everybody there during the week. And they said over here, if they have a sibling at home, maybe one of your players can't come because they have to stay home with that sibling. And there's so many challenges that goes into playing on a fall break. We were laughing that, like Central, who else? Mountain Zion, they're lucky because, well, maybe not lucky. I'm sure they practice, but from a sense of they didn't have to, get extremely prepared for a big region game tonight. They kind of had their bye week lineup with fall break, which helps. Yeah. And I've been in that situation as a coach before, and it is a headache, especially when you say be here at 11, and then you get a phone call at 10:55. I ain't got no ride, and then you got to go get them, and then it just kind of messes up the whole deal, especially on a game day, because now you're off schedule, you're off routine, and like you said, that's probably why they started slow right out the gate. But hearing some of the stats come in, it sounded like the normal ones that you would expect to take over in a game took over, and Bowden excelled.
It really was. Kyler McGrin, gosh, I don't know. he had to have at least 200 yards passing, 100 yards on the ground. Jordan Beasley had a fantastic game offensively. Caden Prothrow played well. They were kind of double teaming Prothrow a little bit, which, if you're smart, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Berkeley Perkins played a great game. It was just on the offensive side of the ball, it was just typical Bowden football.
Yep.
Just what you thought, what you expected out of them, what you thought you would see, and that's what you got from them. On defense, after that second series, once they settled down, the third time Christian Heritage touched the ball, I think they ran one play and coughed it up. Bowden was all over it. And, like I said, from that point, they just took over the entire ball game and just did what Bowden does. On offensively, there was not a problem at all night. On defensively, they got settled in, and they just did what Bowden does. And now it's going to be interesting for Bowden. They've got 2 weeks off.
Yeah, a month off.
Yeah, before they play Mount Zion. And that may come into play a little bit. Mount Zion is still a rival game, 7 miles apart. I think that's what it is. And so regardless of what Mount Zion does next week and the next, they'll be ready for Bowden. And who knows, that game may be interesting for the first bit.
And, Mount Zion's record, obviously, right now is not great. But if you look at that schedule they've played, holy cow.
Yeah.
They have played some ball teams.
They've had one of those Haralson County type schedules.
Yeah, and, Deddy laughed the other day when me and him were talking about the schedule. And we saw Mount Vernon for homecoming. I was like, holy cow, that is a gutsy schedule there, for homecoming, because they are a great football team.
But if you look at Mount Zion's schedule, they don't really have that homecoming game.
I know.
That they could play.
And if you look at the rest of it, it doesn't get any easier.
It doesn't. I think the Mount Zion Christian Heritage matchup will be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Mount Zion's got to travel up there, but I think it'll be interesting. And, of course, they have every opportunity as well to go up there and win that ball game, or at least make it a game.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Bowden did what Bowden does, and just they're rolling right now.
Yeah, and another positive just to look at with that is usually what we've typically been seeing is it's a Beasley McGrin show. But tonight there was a lot more names getting mentioned. Caden was in the mix. Powell was in the mix. The ball was getting dispersed better than it was, let's say, Central Manchester.
Right. Absolutely.
So it just shows the growth and the camaraderie and all that stuff's coming together for them right now, which is perfect timing as they are starting to progress to go to first round of the playoffs, or fighting to be the number one seed for first round.
Tonight, in the last couple of games that we've watched Bowden do, Coach Yarborough, the offensive coordinator, has done a fantastic job mixing plays up. Because you get used to, especially like that first couple of weeks, it was McGrin, Beasley, McGrin, this, that, and other. Now, from one play to the next, you don't know who's going to get the ball. And they're doing a great job of mixing that up, and that's going to help them tremendously on down the road.
Yeah. No, that's huge, because what's crazy is that first who they cross over with, I think it's Sly County's region and all that. It just popped into my head today. It must be nice crossing over with Mount Zion and Bowden's region, because that first place team gets a bye. Yeah. Because there's no 4.
Yeah.
So that's nice going into the playoffs for that region. One thing I was sitting up here talking about a little bit earlier, Temple Lamar, I said, I mentioned it earlier, I was disappointed in that score. I thought that should have been a better ball game. Temple is kind of like what we saw with the Bowden game. Kind of couldn't get it rolling. And penalties, turnovers, or not even turnovers, just putting the ball on the ground.
Yeah.
And there was one in particular play. They were inside the 10. And it was actually a great ball by Gribben the play before this, but they took a shot or threw a fade route to Manny, which, he's a great athlete, Manny Watkins. Goes up, makes a great catch, but he's a step out of bounds.
Yeah.
They come back, run a wheel route with a JD, which, me being peanut gallery, I didn't agree with it. The play call, I would have went back to Manny again because I don't think they had his number. But he was triple covered, JD was, and
J.D. Pinson is like this tall.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's kind of like one of those, if I'm going to do a 50-50, then let's at least take a 50-50 with somebody that can go get it, you know. But just little things that chipped away. And I thought when they came back out from halftime being down 12-0, they stole a possession. They actually squibbed it, onside it, whatever you want to call it, and got the ball back, you know, and had a drive and kept stalling. I mean, it was kind of like when y'all call the Pepperell game too, you know, that kind of vibe where they're driving, and then it's like somebody puts an emergency brake on and we stop.
Yeah.
So I think they'll beat Crawford, you know, just looking forward to Temple's playoff deal. I think they'll beat Crawford, and I think they got to get a lot better offensively in sustaining drives and finishing drives if they're going to beat Heard County at Heard County.
I looked. You were talking about it earlier. I looked. Temple's off next week.
Okay.
They'll play Heard on
Gotcha.
The
and then they
27th,
finish for Crawford. Gotcha.
Yeah. So they've got a chance. They've got this week off.
Yep.
They can work on Temple football and go in, and they can really compete with Heard County.
Yeah.
And maybe give Heard County a run for their money.
Yeah. And I keep saying, I said on Tom's, I said it before we went to break, they still have not found their alpha on that team. And it should be CJ.
Yeah.
I saw him tonight, and I've known him for a while, and I said, you got to take, if y'all are going to host a playoff game, you have to take over. He has to do it. Him and McAnallen have to do that for that team to succeed. And, you know, it's not saying that they're not fighting or doing their job, but it's just that mentality, that confidence you see on the field, you know, when things are not going their way, can they still have that same confidence? That way the team doesn't get down, that type mentality. So it did look like it got better tonight, but it was one of those weird nights too. I mean, you got fall break, you're off schedule, it's raining, like it just every element was going against you tonight.
Yeah, you had fall break and then this heavy drizzle, whatever you call it. I mean, it just makes for if you were out on fall break this week tonight, it just made for like a disaster of a night unless you're the Carrollton Trojans.
Yeah, of course.
And they just dominated all night long.
That score was, I think it was 57-8.
It was at halftime.
At half. And it's like, holy cow. I mean, got to keep, you know, taking your hat off to them. They've got it figured out. And, you know, Kamari and Odom and Juju and heck, that whole gang. I mean, if there was any time they were going to do it, it'd be this year.
Yeah.
Just because they, to me, this year, the difference in them is their defense is better than it was last year, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
Just watching them. And Westlake's going to be the test for them because Westlake's going to match up with them really well.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you got Coach Zachary coming back in town. So we'll see. I think they'll handle them. I think they'll be fine. But that'll be a fun game to watch, I think.
Yeah, I think Coach Zachary will, going into that game, I think he'll use that, go back to his old Central Line days of always hearing that they're the second team in Carrollton and all that to probably motivate his players. That will be a very good game to watch. Shout out to Coach Joey King, 100th win of his career tonight.
He's only lost like 2, hasn't he?
Yeah, he hasn't lost many. In big fashion. But yeah, Westlake and Carrollton will finally get a little bit of competition outside of you know, the first game of the season, and it'll be, you know, I had a buddy of mine send me a text just a few minutes ago and want to know what I thought Carrollton was going to do in the playoffs, and I think they'll make a run.
Oh yeah,
and it's up to them. You know, really, they're kind of in that driver's seat.
Yep, and I'm curious to see where they, depending on how Buford finishes, because that's always the one everybody talks about. Where are they going to be at? Is it going to be a semis? Is it going to be a title game? I'm curious to see where that one could go.
Yeah.
And I know you can't look ahead as a coach, but we can.
Yeah, we can. That's the beauty of it. We can look as far as we want to.
And you know, the other team tonight that come up short, VR. You know, I knew this would be a tough game, but I had a feeling that it was going to be closer than it was last year. I knew that because they have made progress. Coach Barron and gang over there, Bill Recker's finally getting some consistency that they've never had. And it seems like decades now. I mean, there's been so much turnover year after year, but you can tell by this score, it was 50-0 last year, I think it was, and this year it's 27-14. It's because of consistency, because they're starting to get that culture underneath them, and it's starting to spread to the community, and that's why they're playing great defense. And honestly, to only give up 27 against Mays,
that's good. Mays has got a bunch of athletes.
Yeah.
And I think Creekside will be another team that Villarica will have to contend with. But like you said, the consistency that Villarica has this season, just piggybacking off of where they were last year with the other Coach Barron into this, and Coach Barron still being around.
Yep.
They're only going to just improve from week to week.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, the Creekside game is going to be a tall task. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. I mean, it's just the truth. And Creekside, I think, only beat Mays by 1 point.
Yeah.
So who's to say VR can't shock Creekside, and really mix it up a little bit. But
that's true.
Best case, or I say best case, worst case scenario, in my opinion, it'll probably be the 3.
Yeah.
They very well should be the 3. I think that's very possible after tonight's game.
Yeah.
Which still, I mean, it gives you a shot. Getting in the playoffs, who knows what happens?
Yeah, once you get in the playoffs, throw the records out the window.
Yep.
It's anything goes. And you're constantly playing, you're fighting for your life each play.
Yep.
As far as the season goes. But that's that. Sal has given us the countdown, and
okay.
And
well, I guess we got to go to break.
We've talked a lot.
Man, see, look, this is for everybody watching. It's a lot easier to do it when I have somebody to talk to. Just like every other show you see on TV.
When you were on vacation and I had to host it that week,
it's hard.
Whoa,
yeah,
you ain't kidding.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're just up here and you're like, okay, guys, run that stuff to talk about. But especially on a week like this week, nobody played. Everybody's off.
5 games.
So our writers in the back that are saying cut, they don't have anything else to talk about later, so we may cut it short tonight.
Yeah.
But we got to run around the block, pay some bills. We'll be gone. Earlier they were telling me to keep going, but now we got to take a break. So we'll be back here in a second.
Since 2005, Caliber One Construction has provided the highest level of quality, integrity, and satisfaction in every aspect of their company, while empowering their employees to address the ongoing needs of their clients in an ever-changing environment through a passionate work ethic and innovative spirit. Founders Jeannie and Chris Elliott have made a commitment to customer service and customer satisfaction. That's why Caliber One Construction goes by the motto HYPE, how you prepare every day. Caliber One Construction, proud partners of WGTV and WGTV Sports.
Inception Energy Solutions specializes in utility construction and maintenance, including distribution, substations, underground and overhead, and control wiring. They have a federal approved and accredited apprenticeship program working in 9 states across the Southeast. If you're looking for an exciting career like former Blue Devil Brody Doss or Trevor Roberts, give Jerry Pounds or Hillary a call at 404-783-8646. Also, check them out online at InceptionSolutions.com. So join the over 70 employees that have made IES their home. That's Inception Energy Solutions.
Since 1985, Osier Apparel has been a leading provider of custom apparel, specializing in corporate wear, custom t-shirts, and spirit wear. As a family-run business with over 3 decades of experience, they have established a reputation for delivering quality products and exceptional customer service to their clients. Choose Osier Apparel for all your custom needs.
Are you looking for a car, a truck, or maybe one of those popular Jeeps? Look no further. James O'Neill Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has been serving the West Georgia area for over 25 years, providing one of the largest inventories of quality trucks, cars, and SUVs in the region means you're guaranteed to find the model and trim which best suits your lifestyle. Once you settle on the perfect vehicle, meet with their team of finance experts. They can help secure you the terms and rate which best fits your lifestyle. Remember, there's no deal like an O'Neill deal. That's James O'Neill, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bremen.
316 Family Medicine, located in Bremen and Carrollton, offers a variety of services to meet your family's healthcare needs. Their experienced providers, nurses, and healthcare professionals are dedicated to making your healthcare experience the best possible. They offer acute care, urgent care, preventative care, chronic disease management, as well as specialized services including pediatrics, sports physicals, home visits, and much more. Call to schedule an appointment today at 770-537-1234 or visit them online at 316familymedicine.us. 316 Family Medicine, a fresh approach to healthcare.
Old Fashioned Hardware Store. That's the best way to describe Messer Hardware of Bowden, Georgia. Remember when a person greeted you at the door and provided quality information and service? Or when salespeople were knowledgeable about hardware, plumbing, electric? Old Fashioned Hardware.
Welcome back to the Inception Energy Solutions postgame show powered by 316 Healthcare. I'm your host, Kel Singleton. Got Stitcher with me here still again. Not leaving me in the trenches by myself.
No, I won't do that.
Our writers just walked out. I think they're on strike. I thought that was over, but I guess
all other
they're
writers are striking. Ours are too.
There ain't nobody playing this week. Our writers walked out, so we'll try to give you best information. Although we did have some breaking news while we were gone. Mill Creek beat Buford tonight. We were just talking about that matchup maybe with Carrollton down the road. Mm-hmm. Mill Creek beats Buford 31-24. And as we were all talking about here earlier, you know, Mill Creek's a daggone good football team.
They are.
But it's going to be interesting now to see. Shoot, I was talking about Carrollton matching up with Buford. They probably don't want to match up with Mill Creek after that tonight. So
they probably don't.
That'll be something to look forward to down the road as that, you know, that 7A little deal gets it going, and it's almost like watching college teams play when you watch those matchups.
It is. It's like watching like a Division II college. Every time 7A is on television or whatever, I mean, you watch it because it's high-powered football.
Yeah.
Those guys are literally one step away from Power 5 football.
Yeah. And you know, last year, if I'm not mistaken, Mill Creek was who played Carrollton, correct? Mm-hmm. Caleb Downs, he's a great example. Yeah. He literally left Mill Creek last year, and he's starting safety for University of Alabama this year. So, yeah, it's definitely different when you get up there, run around with some of them 5 stars and 4 stars.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be curious to see how that region plays out now. See who's in the driver's seat of that one and how the matchups happen.
I saw a buddy of mine, was watching the Buford-Mill Creek game, and he made the comment on Facebook that Buford's corners just couldn't cover anybody tonight.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Wait, one of them's a big-time recruit going to Florida State, mm-hmm. I want to say?
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. You don't know if the weather played a factor in them getting their footing going or what happened, but, you know, Mill Creek's, they've just got studs. Everybody in 7A is just loaded.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a kind of shocked by that because I know that I can't remember his name exactly, but my cousin, he's a huge Florida State fan, mm-hmm. so he keeps up with the recruiting. And I know that one corner they have, he's a stud. And for him to kind of be getting exposed, Mill Creek must have reloaded and got some dudes.
Yeah.
But yeah, running through the scores one more time. That was just our outside score that we had that kind of shocked us. Running on our scores in the area of people that played. Model beats Haralson County tonight, 14-0. Carrollton is Carrollton, 64-8 final. They win tonight over Pebblebrook. Bowden was our game of the week, big win for them, 48-17 over Christian Heritage. VR comes up short at home. Tough fought game though, and honestly had a chance to win it. And that's all you can ask for going into a big game like that. They come up short tonight, though, 27-14. And then Temple comes up short tonight. They get shut out tonight by Lamar County, 23-0. Lamar County's quarterback, once again, he's a dude. Like, he is really, really good football player and played defense.
He's the same guy from last year?
Number 12?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had him. Tom and I did that game last year at Lamar County and had to call it from the sidelines.
Yeah. You know, so you didn't go all the way up to the moon booth that they had?
They wouldn't let us.
Oh,
They told us we had to, I believe, if I'm not wrong, I think we had to pay to broadcast last year at Lamar County.
At Lamar?
At Lamar. and their athletic director pointed us to the visitor side and said, well, just go up in the bleachers. But there's no way to run power, so the only thing we could do is set a table up on the track, and from 50 yards on down to us, we could see it all. And from 50 yards farther, no chance. But their quarterback last year played both ways. It was a stud on offense and defense.
Yep, that was kind of what he did tonight. They made some good adjustments and got him into space, and Temple didn't have an answer for it.
Yeah.
But I'm shocked by that. That press box is enormous. I've been in that press box.
Yeah.
And you could have got on top of it. There's so many different avenues you could have went to. That's kind of crappy. Teams in this area, remember that. Put them on the track next time.
Put them on the track.
Yeah, and pay it forward, right?
Or in the visitor stands.
Yeah. But they beat one of our locals tonight,
They
so you
did.
got to give them respect.
They did.
Temple, though, like I said earlier, they had a chance. I mean, they had plenty of chances. If you would have combined the Pepperell and the Bowden game, watching them play, that's kind of the same mistakes that was happening. And once again, I haven't seen an alpha, so got to find one of them.
Heard County has also kind of got that same issue. They kind of run into walls, shoot themselves in the foot, and they don't have that alpha as well. So in 2 weeks, that Temple Heard County game, circle it on your calendar.
Yeah, and let's not forget the scoreboard picture.
That's right.
Yeah, created some beef there.
It did.
It's going to make for a fun game.
It will.
And I think you know this. I was kind of a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Not intentionally. It was not for intentional beef. It was just Temple beat Heard, and that never happened. So it was kind of a big deal. And then it turned into old-fashioned hate, which I'm kind of glad it did because I love watching them games.
Yeah.
But as we keep going forward, any other keys you want to talk about with Bowden, Christian Heritage? What? I know if I'm Bowden and I'm going into this month break I run the pee out of them and get healthy. So we stay in great shape.
That's the thing. They've got to figure out a way for the next 2 weeks to stay focused. It's going to be so easy for Bowden to lose focus because they don't play anybody for 2 weeks. And then they have to go, across the county and play a rival. They have got to get, healthier. I think if anything from tonight, they need to just work on a couple of things defensively.
Yeah.
Just maybe swarm to the ball a little bit better if there's anything. But I think the majority of tonight's deal, and most everybody that was in here that was at the game and saw it, they had a week off.
Yeah.
It was fall break. They had to knock some rust off. So that just makes me nervous somewhat because they'll have that 2 week lull where they're going to get out of rhythm of playing a football game every Friday night or at least every other week.
Yeah.
And who knows what can happen. And that's one of those rival games, so you can throw the records out the window because anything can happen on any given
And
Friday
is that
night.
at Bowden or is that?
It's at Mount Zion.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Eagle's Nest.
That's right.
Another thing, too, because I know obviously they'll probably, if I had to guess, Bowden will probably be at Heard County next week for the Mountain Zion game. I think Mountain Zion's at Heard, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they'll probably be at that game watching it. But another thing that you could potentially do is you can hypothetically say we're either going to be a 1 or a 2 because the Mountain Zion Bowden game, you can maybe start looking at who you match up with and maybe try to steal some film and start kind of planning because you have, like I said, a vacation off week, So it gives you time to kind of, as a coach anyways, not that you're looking ahead, but kind of start seeing where you could put wrinkles in moving forward, try to steal some reps mentally to try to set your team up the best you can to be successful in that run because, Sly, I think, is going to get the bye.
Yeah, they will.
And then after that, I think it's a coin toss to the order that it's going to be. So be curious to see who they could potentially match up with and how that run will go.
And if you're Coach Finley and gang, you got 2 weeks off to make sure that on Friday and Saturday nights your guys don't get out and do anything dumb.
At other places.
Or, just wherever.
Yeah.
Do anything dumb to jeopardize themselves. I don't think any of those guys will. But they're all teenage guys.
Yeah.
So you can't ever tell.
Testosterone sometimes takes over.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy
especially if you go to
run.
Heard Mountain Zion and
Yeah.
kind of, see them in pregame and kind of get mad.
And, you know, everybody around here, they all know each other.
Yeah.
I'm sure they all hang out together some and maybe even related or whatever. But, you know, just Bowden, just don't do anything crazy over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. Stay calm. Stay focused on this run you're about to make again.
That's right.
You know, we've talked about the scores and all that, and I haven't been here in a few weeks, and I think you're the perfect person. We didn't talk about it in the weekly show, and I wish we would have. I'm going to ask your opinion on NIL deals. What do you think? I'm going to ask you first, and I'll give my great opinion after. I'm putting you on the spot.
You know, I think it's good that Georgia has finally adopted that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They've got to be very careful how they work all this stuff out.
Yeah.
Because it can really benefit those players, or it can cause a huge mess.
Yeah.
And that's, I think initially and early on, that's what I'm most scared of. When it starts out, it's going to cause some sort of a mess.
Oh, yeah. And I talked about it a little today during my little pregame deal, and it may make some people mad, but it's just the truth. And the elephant in the room is, I think everybody, as soon as this got passed in this area, everybody wanted to all automatically say, well, Carrollton's going to use this to their advantage right off the bat, instead of how can we make this work for our program?
Yeah.
Carrollton is getting dudes without NIL stuff.
Right.
You know, so don't worry about them.
Yeah.
Let's worry about, hey, now we can use a little bit of resources to potentially get a ball player like Carrollton's getting.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it can't be linked to your booster club.
Right.
So I think in some people's minds, too, they're thinking, well, now I'm losing booster money.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, I think, personally, the kids deserve it, because you probably in your playing days, and heck, I did it, and I've coached kids that have done it. We'll use Kyler, for example. Let's say Kyler rushed for all these yards tonight, threw for all this, his body's beat up. Let's say he's got to work a job on Saturday.
Yeah.
And he's got to get up, beat up.
Yeah.
And go to work on Saturday and Sunday, and then go to school on Monday just to make a little money, go and have fun and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, the way football is so competitive, it is a job. If you have any aspirations of playing at any level of college, it's a job. And you have to be all in. Grades, weights, food, etc. It gets expensive.
It does.
So for a kid now, if they can find some way to basically sponsor their football career, why not let them do it?
Yeah, and I don't think in this area, for the most part, you're not going to see any like big time money deals.
Yeah.
But it's going to help those kids, you know, with a few bucks here and there, not to have to work.
Yeah.
They can get up on Saturdays and go to treatment if they need to.
Yep.
They can rest. They can spend time with their family, because during the week, you go to school, you go to football practice, or at least when I was in school, when I got finished with football practice, I went home, took a shower, tried to eat, did homework, and go to bed.
Yeah.
Didn't have a lot of time to you know, hang out and spend time with family and stuff. Saturdays they get that chance to do that. They can lay at the house and be a kid and watch college football.
Yep.
Same thing on Sundays. They can go to church with their parents, you know, if they go to church and things like that. Come home, watch the Falcons play, watch whoever they want to play, and just they can be teenagers.
Yep.
They can go, you know, hang out with their friends. They can go to Carrollton or whatever and go to the movies and just enjoy that and not have to worry, you know, about they got to go to work. Because and I believe that. I don't know of any personal accounts right now, but you can't tell me in every school system, you know, in every high school, there's probably football players, basketball players and stuff like that have to work a part-time job to help pay bills, help put food on the table.
That's exactly right.
So this is, I think, if it's done correctly, and I think that eventually, if it doesn't start out correctly, eventually they'll work out all the kinks and stuff. It's going to help families. It's going to help families provide. It's going to help mamas and daddies not have to pay a fortune in groceries to feed that athlete. Because, I mean, my son, he's 14, and he'll play soccer this spring and everything. But right now, good Lord. I'm like, I call my parents, you know, at least once a week when we have to buy groceries, and I just apologize. Because when I was in high school, it was me and it was a bunch of my friends, and they'd just come in and sit down in our kitchen floor in front of the snack cabinet my parents still have and just clean them out. And I'm like, wow, it didn't dawn on me what it takes.
Yeah.
So I think this NIL thing, it was about time Georgia, caught up with the rest of the nation.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's done right, I think it's going to do, it's going to be more good than anything.
Yeah. And, looking at that too, I talked about this a little bit. The companies that provide for these kids,
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to, obviously, I think it's a great idea for them, but also there needs to be a little bit of the kid shows that he's doing good in the classroom.
Yeah.
He's got good grades.
Yeah.
Maybe call a coach. Look, is he just a Friday kid or is he busting his butt
Yep.
to earn this? It shouldn't be when the lights turn on Friday, I ball, give me my money type attitude.
Yeah.
You need to know the work ethic that goes into that
Yeah.
because this is a transition for getting you ready for college.
Mm-hmm.
I have to have good grades. I'm a student first, good grades. I work good in the weight room. I work good at practice. I do great on Friday.
Yeah.
And another thing, everybody says that it can't just be about the best player.
Yeah.
And when we come back, I'll give you my opinion on how this can be expanded from, the best player all the way down to maybe the brain on the team.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to run around real quick. We'll hit on this topic again, run through some scores. We don't have much longer left because everybody's on vacation.
Except us.
Yeah, except us. We're here. But we'll be back in a second. We thank you for tuning in, and this has been the post-game show.
Old-fashioned hardware store. That's the best way to describe Messer Hardware of Bowden, Georgia. Remember when a person greeted you at the door and provided quality information and service? Or when salespeople were knowledgeable about hardware, plumbing, electrical, paint, and agricultural products? Take it further back. How about when lawn and garden seeds were scooped from bulk containers? At Messer Hardware, the best parts of the past are alive, well, and at the center of our business philosophy. We pride ourselves on offering the old-fashioned hardware store experience you grew up with. That's Messer Hardware of Bowden, Georgia.
Located on 30 Dot Road in Bowden, Aryan Farm and Ranch Supply opened their doors in April of this year. With backyard gardening essentials as their main focus, there is so much more at Aryan Farm and Ranch Supply. They also serve as a full-scale farm supplier, and there's even some fencing options you can choose from. So stop by Aryan Farm and Ranch Supply today for some free coffee and all of your farming needs.
Whitley's Forestry Mulching and Skid Steer Service is your go-to for all your mulching, brush cutting, trenching, grading, excavator services, and more. Open in 2018, Ryan and his team have made a commitment for customer service and satisfaction. For all your mulching and skid steer needs, give Ryan and his team a call. 678-378-0683. That's 678-378-0683. Whitley's Forestry Mulching and Skid Steer Services in Bowden.
If you're looking for some of the best lemonade in West Georgia, Steve and his crew at Incredible Pope Lemonade are serving up sunshine by the cup. With an extensive menu that includes strawberry, cherry lemonade, and watermelon, the menu also boasts a peach mango lemonade with natural peach puree stirred in the mix. If you are looking for your own cup of sunshine, give them a call or follow their Facebook page at Incredible Pope Lemonade.
316 Family Medicine, located in Bremen and Carrollton, offers a variety of services to meet your family's healthcare needs. Their experienced providers, nurses, and healthcare professionals are dedicated to making your healthcare experience the best possible. They offer acute care, urgent care, preventative care, chronic disease management, as well as specialized services including pediatrics, sports physicals, home visits, and much more. Call to schedule an appointment today at 770-537-1234 or visit them online at 316familymedicine.us. 316 Family Medicine, a fresh approach to healthcare.
If you're thinking about selling or investing in your own piece of rural real estate, Cal Hardy with Arrowhead Land Company is the hardest working rural real estate specialist in Georgia. Arrowhead Land Company is a premier real estate brokerage company who has burst onto the scene nationally because of its hard working agents, cutting edge marketing, and grassroots values. Whether you're a hunter, farmer, rancher, or someone who appreciates the country lifestyle, give Cal a call today at 770-296-2163 to assist with all of your real estate needs.
With over 25 years real estate experience, we dedicate ourselves to doing business the right way all the time. Hi, I'm Tony Tritt, co-owner of Tritt Realty, a premier real estate brokerage serving Georgia and Alabama. Whether you're a first-time buyer, a seasoned investor or builder, or maybe you're relocating to our area to embark on a new opportunity, we want to lock arms and guide you seamlessly through the entire real estate process from start to finish. We want to become your lifetime real estate partner. Find us online at TrittRealty.com or come on by our office in downtown Carrollton and get started today.
James O'Neill Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram is a family-owned and operated dealership serving West Georgia and East Alabama and supporting high school sports since the doors opened in 1990. Whether it's sales, service, parts, or financing, we're here for all your automotive needs. As the service and satisfaction winner for the past 8 years and the #1 Ram dealer for the past 16 years, it's guaranteed that there's no deal like an O'Neill deal. If you can't make it out to see us, we'll deliver a unit straight to your doorstep. So give us a call today or visit us online at o'neilldodge.com, where we make the buying experience easy.
Since 2005, Caliber One Construction has provided the highest level of quality, integrity, and satisfaction in every aspect of their company, while empowering their employees to address the ongoing needs of their clients in an ever-changing environment through a passionate work ethic and innovative spirit. Founders Jeannie and Chris Elliott have made a commitment to customer service and customer satisfaction. That's why Caliber One Construction goes by the motto HYPE, how you prepare every day. Caliber One Construction, proud partners of WGTV and WGTV Sports.
Inception Energy Solutions specializes in utility construction and maintenance, including distribution, substations, underground and overhead, and control wiring. They have a federal approved and accredited apprenticeship program working in 9 states across the Southeast. If you're looking for an exciting career like former Blue Devil Brody Doss or Trevor Roberts, give Jerry Pounds or Hillary a call at 404-783-8646. Also, check them out online at InceptionSolutions.com. So join the over 70 employees that have made IES their home. That's Inception Energy Solutions.
Since 1985, Ozier Apparel has been a leading provider of custom apparel, specializing in corporate wear, custom t-shirts, and spirit wear. As a family-run business with over 3 decades of experience, they have established a reputation for delivering quality products and exceptional customer service to their clients. Choose Ozier Apparel for all your custom needs.
Welcome back to the Inception Energy Solutions postgame show powered by 316 Healthcare. I'm your host, Coach Kel Singleton. Still got Stitcher with me. I ain't alone. Feels good not to be alone. Before we went to the break, we were talking about NIL stuff. We were kind of talking about some of the topics I've heard people digging into that they worry about with this situation. One of the ones that a lot of people are saying, well, only the best players are going to benefit. Well, in my opinion, I think that yeah, good players can benefit off of it, but also, let's say the young man on the team that may not play all the time, maybe just play special teams, but has got a 4.2 GPA, maybe gets a sponsorship from a tech place or something because he's inspiring to go to Georgia Tech or whatever it might be. I think the avenue for it is whatever you can make it for a kid. It's almost like, you see what Coach Prime's doing with Colorado. You got to sell yourself. You got to advertise yourself and put yourself out there to show why you're worth them taking their time to invest in you. Yeah. Whether it be, hey, let me see your grades like we said before we came back. Let me call your coach and see if you're really working your butt off or are you cruising, because it's almost like an avenue for kids to kind of get interviewed for a kind of job that they're getting, So I'm interested to see how it goes. I don't think that it's only going to benefit the good players. I think it can benefit anybody.
Right. It'll be interesting to see in Carrollton.
Yeah.
With that, like we were talking about that 7A school that looks like a small college when they they get out there to play. And Carrollton is so rich with, big businesses, Southwire, Tanner Health, all those places. And they've got, got Juju that kind of sparked the whole NIL conversation for the state of Georgia. And I think HBO is doing a documentary on him, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
And things like that. So that, I think that's where you'll see this NIL stuff first.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be kind of interesting to see just what kind of a parameter or, what kind of impact those companies have over there to players like Juju Lewis, to Caleb Odom, Kamari Farmer.
Yeah.
And those guys. And then watch it trickle down, maybe trickle over to Central, up to Villarica. And then you get, out to Bowden, Temple, Mount Zion, and see kind of how that looks. Hopefully, when that comes and it happens, they've kind of got a handle on this kind of thing, and even up in Bremen, Haralson County, and down to Hurd. But, it was like Tom was saying, at the break, and we kind of touched on it. Some of those kids, like at Alabama, they bring in $1 billion. Yeah. They're bringing in the money because of the players that they have.
Mm-hmm.
The Kool-Aid McKinstry's and Caleb Downs that's playing, as a freshman, and all those guys. So, they need to get a little bit of that money, even if it's just to have a couple of $100 to run around and, and spend on, just hanging out with their friends so they don't have to work like we were saying earlier. But it's also going to be interesting to see how beneficial it turns out to be for the businesses.
Yeah.
We've got Nick here with Sam's House Barbecue. What kind of NIL deal, Sam's House Barbecue is going to work out for the couple of West Georgia television broadcasters and post-game show and things of that nature.
Hey, advertising, man.
I know it's going to be, it's going to be beneficial for those companies that want to sponsor some of those kids. And so, I don't think it's going to get to the point, but it kind of reminds me of like if you watch NASCAR and you see all those cars going by with the different stickers and stuff that on it. I don't think it'll ever get to that point, but that's the first thing that pops into my mind.
Well, just piggybacking off that, with him being from the area and playing ball in the area and knowing the area, if a kid does come to him for a so-called deal, he's going to be one of the ones, I bet you, that ask about the grades.
Yeah.
About are you working hard? If I call Coach, let's use Bowden, for example. If I call Coach Finley, is he going to vouch for you?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of one of them deals where you have enough businesses in this area. They played ball around here.
Mm-hmm.
They came back to the area, whether it be Temple, Mountain Zion, Bowden, Carrollton, wherever. They're going to know to look at you and say, do you really deserve this kind of thing? Because that's just how we are in the area.
Yeah.
And I think for that, not only does it benefit the kid, but it also helps that, I'm using football, for example, it helps that young man turn into a man because he's got to be accountable for his actions. Am I really doing that? And it's only going to, in my opinion, help them grow. Because now I have to be accountable for school. I got to be accountable for a weight room. I got to be accountable for football. And now I got to be accountable for Sam's House Barbecue and not make them look like a fool because he took a chance on me.
Yeah.
So it not only does that, but it gets them set up for college, and if they have aspirations to go further than that. I just thought about that a second ago. So I think it can help us, because let's just get the elephant out of the room again. This day and age, everybody does this.
Yep.
That's all it is. It's changed. I'm not even that old yet, and it's changed a lot from when I was in high school. But everybody thinks you owe them something for whatever reason we've got created in our minds. But now these businesses can kind of maybe make this a learning point for young men or young women that ask for these deals.
Yeah.
So we can look at it that way too.
And it could very well be one like a dangling carrot.
Yeah.
If you keep those grades up, play well, work hard, be a good teammate, here's the deal.
Yeah.
And that's football's so easy to talk about because I think it's in this area especially, it's the money making sport. But that's going to work with baseball, basketball, cheerleading, band. Everything. Just being a good student. It doesn't even have to do anything with sports. Some of those big companies, the tech companies and things like that can just go into the classroom and maybe contact the high school. Give me some of the brains.
Yeah.
You know, that's who we want to represent us and have that going on for them. So, I mean, it's a broad thing right now, but I think it's something that's going to be very, very beneficial to all students.
Yeah, and I hope it, because with every good thing you have crookedness that comes with it. I just hope that coaches, obviously in our area we have some good ones, but I hope in the state of Georgia everybody abides by it and doesn't ruin it for some of these kids, because it is an opportunity to potentially help families at the end of the day.
But do you think that it could end up being something that maybe draws an athlete at a smaller school away, you know, to a program like Carrollton or Central, a place that's got a bigger, you know, tax base or boosters and things like that?
See, I think it could potentially, but also at the same time, if you look at college right now with the way they're doing their NIL deals, 5-star, like Miami, for example, they got a lot of big-time players this year because they had the money, you know, whereas before Georgia was getting all of them, Alabama was getting, you kind of knew who your top 3 was going to be in recruiting, and then Miami just pops in there out of nowhere. I think that it's going to keep everybody kind of dispersed because everybody's going to get a little bit of a piece of the pie now. Yeah. Whereas if you look at this area, for example, without NIL, you know, we always talk about Carrollton, but they got the flashy stuff, nice play. Everybody wants to go to there. Well, now, and the benefit there was, you know, I get seen by colleges. I get this. I'm on a bigger stage and all this. Well, now, if you're at these smaller schools, heck, I'm getting a little change, and I'm just at little old Temple down the road, you know. So now I'm starting to make a little money off this, and if a company is standing behind me, that's going to give me a little bit more recognition as well, because I'm sure they'll be saying, hey, shout out to such and such, we're sponsoring him, because for a business too, like you said, it's advertising. So if I got a picture of my senior running back in the area that's going off this year, I'm going to put that up in my place so that people are going to come in at, because I'm proud of that kid. I'm representing him. He's representing me. Yeah. So it kind of helps put them on a bigger stage. So I think everybody's got an equal chance, I think I would say. And it's going to take people time, too. They need to roll their sleeves up and go to work. You can't just expect a company to say, hey, I want to sponsor that kid. Like, you're going to have to at first go out and seek this and kind of tell them what's going on and would you want to be a part of this.
And now with the, you know, in the age of social media and gosh, even Huddle.
Yep.
Those, I guarantee you, some of those, Jordan Beasley, Kyler McGrin, those guys' highlights from tonight are already out there. And like you said, you want to go to a bigger place, somewhere flashy where you get seen by colleges. If you're a stud at Mount Zion, Bowden, Temple, Bremen, Haralson County, wherever, they're going to find you.
Yeah.
And you see now, you see more and more kids at high schools all across our area. It doesn't matter what size they are, how big or how small, they're getting recruited.
Yeah.
You know, I live up in Bremen, and there's constantly kids from Bremen that are getting offers from, now it may not be the big D1 schools, but it doesn't matter. If they're offering you an opportunity to, you know, pay half your college
and go to school and
play football or play whatever sport it is, I mean, that's awesome.
You know,
when I was in school, that didn't happen a lot.
That's what I was going to say.
It didn't happen a lot at all.
And like you were talking about with the Huddle deal, for local businesses and stuff too, big things Facebook. You know, we always go Facebook Live. We always follow our sponsors on Facebook, all that. If Beasley is my NIL kid and he has an amazing night, all I got to do is shoot that out on Facebook and say, hey, we're proud. We sponsored Beasley. We backed him. Look at his amazing game he had. And on Facebook, it's going to go viral. No telling who's going to see it. So now some of these kids, too, if they have a brand, I heard somebody's trying to come out with a clothing line. If they have something like that, now that gets blew up on a big stage and their brand starts to spread. And look, we're proud to be representing such and such. And internet obviously helps everybody grow whatever they want. But there's, like I keep going back to, there's so many different avenues. But you also have to be creative with how you sell yourself. Yeah. Because it's isn't just, like I said, you got to work for it.
That's right.
To get yourself there. So
that's right.
I like it. I have two.
I do too.
I have two boys. One's 2 and some change, the other one's 7 months. And I promise you, if this is there one day when they get there, I'm going to promote it. If they're fortunate enough to be good athletes, I'm going to promote it.
Absolutely.
But I'm also going to make them learn how to, if somebody gives you a deal, that don't mean you blow all your money, put some back.
Yeah.
Learn how to invest money. This could be a deal where you start investing in something. Put it in some kind of IRA that can grow. I mean, set yourself up for down the road. Start making big boy and big girl decisions. So there's so many that you can learn so much from it. And I think a lot of people need to quit looking at the negative so much.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of positives, in my opinion, that can come out of it.
Yep.
So
You're absolutely right.
It's kind of my spiel on the NIL stuff. I think we're kind of running out of stuff to talk about now.
There you have it.
Yeah.
NIL, we're for it.
Yeah, we're for it.
WGTV is for it. We're looking for sponsors.
Yeah. But, you know, recapping tonight, you know, it was a weird night. Some of our teams were victorious. Some of them lost.
Yeah.
It happens. But the storyline is now get in, you know, and then, like you said, you wipe the slate clean. And then you fight to make that playoff run.
Yeah.
So for all our teams that won, congratulations tonight. For the ones that went down, hey, get back to the drawing board and try to find a win and try to find a way to get in. Once again, Haralson County went on the road tonight, come up short, 14-0. Model beats them. Carrollton, big win, obviously, as usual. 64-8 over Pebblebrook. Bowden was our game of the week. They come up with a big win tonight, 48-17. Villarica, a hard-fought home game against Mays. Way different result than last year. So you got to be proud of your Wildcats, how they fought. They stayed in it for a while, just came up short. They lose tonight, 27-14 to Mays. And Temple, as I said before, you know, it's kind of, I thought it'd be closer. But they came up short tonight, 23-0. They lose to Lamar County. They got to try to find a way to fight for that 2 spot. Now I think you hit the nail on the head. That's going to come down to that Heard County game. Because I think that they'll take care of Crawford.
Yeah.
They should.
They should anyway.
So they're fighting for that 2 and 3. So I'll be curious to see how that one ends up. But as always, it's been a pleasure tonight. Thank you for sitting up here with me. Show goes so much better with 2 people.
It does.
Yeah. So
it really does.
It's been fun. If you ever want to chime in, please do it. You have any questions for us? Shoot, put it on there, and if we see it on the weekly show, we'll chat about it on the weekly show. We don't have commercial breaks on weekly show. Every now and then, Sal, I don't get cut off. But it's been fun tonight. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank you, our sponsors, as always. We'll see you back next week. And God bless, as Tom always says, and make Jesus first.
And famous.
Since 1985, Osier Apparel has been a leading provider of custom apparel, specializing in corporate wear, custom t-shirts, and spirit wear. As a family-run business with over 3 decades of experience, they have established a reputation for delivering quality products and exceptional customer service to their clients. Choose Osier Apparel for all your custom needs.
Are you looking for a car, a truck, or maybe one of those popular Jeeps? Look no further. James O'Neill Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has been serving the West Georgia area for over 25 years, providing one of the largest inventories of quality trucks, cars, and SUVs in the region means you're guaranteed to find the model and trim which best suits your lifestyle. Once you settle on the perfect vehicle, meet with their team of finance experts. They can help secure you the terms and rate which best fits your lifestyle. Remember, there's no deal like an O'Neill deal. That's James O'Neill, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bremen.
316 Family Medicine, located in Bremen and Carrollton, offers a variety of services to meet your family's healthcare needs. Their experienced providers, nurses, and healthcare professionals are dedicated to making your healthcare experience the best possible. They offer acute care, urgent care, preventative care, chronic disease management, as well as specialized services including pediatrics, sports physicals, home visits, and much more. Call to schedule an appointment today at 770-537-1234 or visit them online at 316familymedicine.us. 316 Family Medicine, a fresh approach to healthcare.
Old Fashioned Hardware Store. That's the best way to describe Messer Hardware of Bowden, Georgia. Remember when a person greeted you at the door and provided quality information and service? or when salespeople were knowledgeable about hardware, plumbing, electrical, paint, and agricultural products? Take it further back. How about when lawn and garden seeds were scooped from bulk containers? At Messer Hardware, the best parts of the past are alive, well, and at the center of our business philosophy. We pride ourselves on offering the old-fashioned hardware store experience you grew up with. That's Messer Hardware of Bowden, Georgia.
Located on 30 Dot Road in Bowden, Arian Farm and Ranch Supply opened their doors in April of this year. With backyard gardening essentials as their main focus, there is so much more at Arian Farm and Ranch Supply. They also serve as a full-scale farm supplier, and there's even some fencing options you can choose from. So stop by Arian Farm and Ranch Supply today for some free coffee and all of your farming needs.
Whitley's Forestry Mulching and Skid Steer Service is your go-to for all your mulching, brush cutting, trenching, grading, excavator services, and more. Open in 2018, Ryan and his team have made a commitment for customer service and satisfaction. For all your mulching and skid steer needs, give Ryan and his team a call. It's 678-378-0683. That's 678-378-0683. Whitley's Forestry Mulching and Skid Steer Services.